In Nollywood, many actors have the classic grass to grace story where they struggled before making it big, but for some, there was never any grass, only marble floors and vacations in Dubai. These stars were born into wealthy families where school fees were never a problem and suffering was something they only acted out in movies. So click on the like buttons to like this video as we look into these Nollywood actors who were born into wealthy families. Kelvin Ezike was never known to struggle, never taking light in the middle of a football match or the pain of fetching water from a well. Born into a wealthy family, his father, Chief Ezike, is a businessman with multiple ventures across Imo and Lagos states. While some actors had to hustle their way through the industry, Kelvin walked in with the confidence of someone who grew up knowing his generator had never run out of diesel. Despite his privileged background, Kelvin Ezike is undeniably talented. He has dazzled audiences with his performances, proving that he's not just another rich kid trying to play dress up in Nollywood. But let's be honest, it's a little hard to watch him struggle in movie roles where he plays a poor character. Even in his family, his mother, now proudly called Lolo Ezike after Chief Ezike received his chieftaincy title, ensures their household exudes class. She is a beautiful woman who is said to own a school and other businesses. But regardless of his silver spoon upbringing, Kelvin Ezike has proven his worth in Nollywood. Whether he's playing the struggle protagonist or the wealthy heir, one thing is certain: he was born into money, raised with money, and acts with money. Temi Otedola is not just an actress, she is a billionaire's daughter who stepped into Nollywood with the kind of soft life many aspiring actors can only dream about. As the daughter of Femi Otedola, one of Nigeria's wealthiest businessmen, Temi never had to worry about struggling her way to the top. While some actors were hustling for transport money to attend auditions, she was probably deciding which private jets to take for a weekend getaway. Her wealthy background is impossible to ignore. Many Nollywood actors have stories of surviving on gari and groundnut while waiting for their big break, but Temi likely never had to measure rice before cooking. Even in her films, traces of luxury follow her. When she plays a struggling character, it still feels like she is just pretending. Her hair is too perfect, her suffering too graceful, and her tears look more like they belong in a high-end skincare commercial. But billionaire status or not, Temi has proven she is more than just a rich girl dabbling in acting. Her role in Citation showed she has real talent and dedication. Ray Emodi is one of Nollywood's most talented actors, effortlessly playing rich, charming characters on screen. But let's be honest, acting like a wealthy man isn't exactly a stretch for him. Born into affluence, Ray is the son of Joy Emodi, a respected politician and former senator, and the late Dr. Oke Emodi, an economist who helped build the family's fortune. While some actors had to start their careers with unpaid extra roles, Ray probably had the luxury of choosing scripts like someone selecting wines at a five-star restaurant. His background speaks for itself. While some aspiring actors were jumping buses to auditions, Ray Emodi studied at Nottingham Trent University in the United Kingdom and graduated with a bachelor's degree in business management. He later attended the New York Film Academy in Los Angeles, USA, where he graduated with a Master's of Fine Arts. Even on screen, traces of luxury follow him. Whenever he is cast as a poor character, something just feels wrong. The way he holds a roadside snack looks too careful, as if he's worried about food poisoning. But regardless of his privileged background, Ray Emodi has proven himself in Nollywood, whether playing the rich heir, which fits perfectly, or attempting to be a struggling character. He delivers. Born into wealth, raised in comfort, and now thriving in the industry. Elma Mbadiwe did not come to Nollywood to struggle. Born into the wealthy and influential Mbadiwe family of Owerri, she had a childhood far removed from the usual hustle many aspiring actors go through. As a daughter of a business mogul with enterprises around the world, she had access to opportunities that others could only pray for during crossover night. Yet, despite her privileged background, she entered Nollywood with a determination that surprised many. She didn't rely on a last name to book roles. roles. Instead, she proved herself with her raw talent, captivating audiences in Far From Home and beyond. Even though she grew up surrounded by luxury, she plays every character so convincingly that you almost forget she was never the type to fetch water from a well or argue with NEPA officials about light bills. Elma's ability to keep her personal life private is another thing that fascinates people. Unlike some wealthy kids who enjoy flaunting their designer collections on Instagram, she prefers to let her work speak for her. Eronini Osinachim. Eronini is one of Nollywood's fast-rising stars, capturing heart with his performances. But unlike many actors who hustle their way into the industry, he was born into a wealthy family. His dad, Prince O.C., runs a luxury kitchen appliance business known as Pork and Norman Concepts Limited, which sounds like it was built to equip an entire mansion's worth of kitchens. With his parents' wealth, Eronini didn't attend just any school. He polished his brilliance at the Supreme Education Foundation Secondary School, a place so elite it makes Lekki real estate seem like pocket change. This is where future Banana Island's residents were forged. Even in Nollywood, traces of luxury follow him. When he plays a poor character, something just feels off. He doesn't hold a sachet of pure water with enough suffering, and his struggled face still looks moisturized. But rich kid or not, Eronini Osinachim has proven he belongs in Nollywood. Rita Dominic. Rita is one of Nollywood's most celebrated actresses, known for her grace, talent, and effortless portrayal of elite characters. But let's be honest, playing royalty is second nature to her because, well, she is royalty. Born into the wealthy royal family of Mwaturocha in Mvies, Imo State, Rita didn't exactly start life worrying about school fees or the price of rice in the market. Even on screen, her royal upbringing is hard to ignore. When she plays a suffering character, something feels a little too polished. The way she walks, the way she holds a spoon, even the way she frowns, it all screams someone who has never fought for change with a boss conductor. But regardless of her privileged background, Rita Dominic has earned her place in Nollywood. She was born into royalty, raised in comfort, and now reigns as one of Nollywood's finest. Jide Kosoko. Jide is one of Nollywood's most respected veteran actors, but let's not forget, he didn't exactly come from trenches. Born into the prestigious Kosoko royal family of Lagos Island, he wasn't just any Lagos boy, he was royalty. While some actors grew up in a face me I face you apartment, learning to fetch water with buckets on their heads, Jide Kosoko had house help who made sure he never had to experience that kind of manual labor. His background is as rich as the filmography. His lineage even produced an opera of Lagos from 1845 to 1851, meaning blue bloods runs through his veins. And let's be honest, it wasn't out there hustling to join the film industry like some of his colleagues. He had the kind of upbringing where I want to act wasn't met with go and read your books, but rather, alright, which director do you want to meet? Even on screen, his royal background is hard to ignore. When he plays a poor man, something always feels suspiciously comfortable. He sits like someone who knows his ancestors owned lands. When he begs for money in a movie, there is still an air of authority, like he is just testing his subjects. Ademola Adedoyin. Ademola may have wowed audiences with his performance in October 1, but let's not act like he got there by hustling in Oshodi traffic. Born into wealth, he is the son of billionaire businessman Samuel Adedoyin, the founder of the Adedoyin Group of companies. His billionaire background is impossible to ignore. While some actors tell emotional stories of sleeping in uncompleted buildings before landing their first role, Ademola was probably deciding whether to fly first class or private jet. Many Nollywood stars had to start their careers by featuring in low-budget films with shaky camera work, but Ademola had the luxury of choosing quality scripts right from the start. No unnecessary village horror films with talking goats. But regardless of his billionaire status, Ademola Adedoyin has worked hard to prove his talents. He may have been born into wealth, but his acting speaks for itself. Falz. Folarin Falada, popularly known as Falz, is one of those rare celebrities who didn't have to struggle to succeed, but still chose to. As a son of Femi Falana SA and one of Nigeria's most respected lawyers and human rights activists, Falz grew up in a household where suffering was probably just a word he heard on the news. His privileged background is clear, but instead of following in his father's legal footsteps, he chose the path of music, later acting, while others were out in the sun hustling for their big break. But Falz was probably indoors, deciding whether to drop a hit song or crack jokes on Instagram. Despite all these, he still managed to convince Nigerians that he was just one of them, speaking in funny accents and dropping relatable lines about everyday struggles he never actually faced. But credit must be given where it is due. Falz may have been born into wealth, but his success in entertainment is no fluke. Elvina Ibru did not come to Nollywood to suffer. Born into the influential Ibru family, she grew up knowing wealth in a way most Nigerians can only imagine. As the daughter of Michael Ibru, a highly respected industrialist and business tycoon, Elvina never had to experience the kind of hustle many Nollywood actors went through. Her background is the kind that makes people say she didn't need to work, but she did anyway. But many actors started with roles in questionable low-budget films just to be noticed, but Elvina walked straight into polished productions like Bling Lagosians, a film that, let's be honest, is exactly the kind of high society world she is familiar with. But wealth aside, Elvina is proving her talent in Nollywood. She may have been born into money, raised in comfort, and shielded from many of Nigeria's everyday struggles, but she is not just another rich kid playing pretense. Joke Silva. Joke did not have to struggle to make it in life. Born into a wealthy and influential family, her childhood was far from the typical Nollywood grass to grace story. While many aspiring actors were busy memorizing scripts in one-room apartments with unreliable electricity, Joke was attending top schools in London, probably deciding between tea or coffee during breaks. Her mother, Dr. Adebimbola Silva, was a pioneering doctor, and her father, Chief Emmanuel Afolabi Silva, was a lawyer, meaning nobody in her family was waiting for her to make it before they could eat. With great-grandfathers like Charles Phillips and Samuel Herbert Pears, both prominent colonial Nigerians, Joke's legacy was already secured before she even learned how to pronounce action. Yet, instead of enjoying a quiet, privileged life, she chose Nollywood, a place where actors were still chasing producers for their money. But make no mistake, Joke Silva's success is not just because of her wealthy background, it's her talent, grace, and ability to play any role convincingly, whether rich or poor. This is a time to like this video. Meanwhile, I did a video about some Nollywood actors and actresses who battled mental health challenges. Click on the video showing on the screen to know some Nollywood actors and actresses who battled mental health challenges. Click on it before this video ends, because if this video ends, it will go away. See you in the next video. Bye.